Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, and those of you who are watching at home, we hope you are ready to release 2020. I know I am. Yes, let's give that a standing ovation. Okay, so Reverend Matthew and I are conducting this service. We have Reverend Caroline is going to do the closing prayer. Our musicians tonight are Terry O'Hara and Christina Brewer. And you're in for a treat tonight. I call her the winner of The Voice for 2022. Maybe she could do it in 2021. Anyway, thank you for joining us this evening. You should have a program, a little pencil, and a little piece of tissue paper. And if you don't have these things, just raise your hand and Mario can get them to you. if you don't have the equipment, because we'll be writing what we want to release just a little later.
Somebody doesn't have one?
Terry needs one. And if you're at home, what I'd recommend is that you get a little bowl and a little piece of paper like this and a pen or pencil. And then you can participate with us as we go through meditations and release processes, as well as writing our intention for 2021. And so we're going to open with the song Everything New, written by Daniel Namud. And Terry's going to lead us in that song.
Everything new, everything different, everything true. I'm ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something gone that'll never return. I think I finally learned to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything new. I'm so ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through grieving, I'm through dreaming that the life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. I think it's time to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I'm ready for the next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I've survived many times before, broken hearts and slamming doors. I'll be alright, I will once more, just as I did back then. I'm gonna rise again. So bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I'm so ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm so ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new.
I'd like to welcome you this evening and lead us into an opening prayer. So I just invite you to close your outer eyes. Let's just breathe. Let's just allow the words from that song to resonate within us. And as we move into this evening's service, I just know that it's a sacred experience for each and every one of us here, and for each and every one of you online. And I know that we stand at the threshold of a new year, I know that there is light on the horizon. I know that peace is unfolding as I speak. I know that we're here tonight to celebrate the return of the light. So I invite you to relax and enjoy this experience and let it into your heart, your soul, and allow it to open your mind. And I'm knowing that the divine is present here in all of this, holding all of it beautifully and perfectly. And I speak these words with deep confidence and unwavering gratitude as I release them into the action of love and law, and know that the universal law responds and returns them completely fulfilled. And so it is.
You can't read my mind. I'm undefined. I'm just beginning. The pen's in my hand, ending a plan, staring at the blank page before you. Open up a dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in life unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten. I break traditions. Sometimes my tries are outside the lines. We've been conditioned to not make mistakes, but I can't live that way, no, no. Staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in light wide open. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten. The rest is still unwritten. The rest is still unwritten.
That's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. That's perfect for the new year, isn't it? Well, we're going to be following Matthew Fox's 4 Vias this evening. And he starts with the Via Positiva, which is the path of awe. And neuroscientists tell us that if we can stay in a place of awe, we have the ability to transform and not sink into the negative. And I think it's been challenging for us this past year not to sink into some of the things that are happening all around us. But if we can figure out how to go into that place of awe, and one of the ways we can do that is through nature. I'm taking a class on Julian of Norwich, who was a saint who lived through the Black Plague in the 1300s. And she wrote in the 1300s, God is nature. And so everything we see around us can be that place of discovery, for a place of awe that truly lifts us up and out of any difficulty. Terry told me a story and showed me a photograph of he was walking down 6th Avenue. When was this? Today? Monday. Monday, he was walking down 6th Avenue, and near the bus stop was a basket filled with Puccini opera CDs. It was like someone was going around gifting music all over the neighborhood. And so he managed to get this basket with CDs. He also noticed that there was a little wounded pheasant right there by the bus stop. And he had to run an errand, so he went down the street and he thought, well, I've got this basket. If the pheasant's still there when I come back, I'm going to pick it up and take it home. And the pheasant let him pick it up. Sure enough, it was there when he got back. And he picked it up and put it in the basket and carried it very carefully all the way to his house and dressed the wound on its head. You know, Pope Francis said, what we need to do in 2021 is bring more compassion into the world. And there we have a little compassion for a wounded critter demonstrated by Terry. So find ways to build that via positiva in your life through acts of compassion and through observing the beauty all around us. We truly live in a beautiful place, the Northwest. And so there's so many opportunities to appreciate the goodness that surrounds us. So at this time, we're going to move into the via negativa, which is about emptiness and losses. And many of us have experienced losses, perhaps even deaths of relatives. I know that the minister whom I knew, his name was Pastor Peter. He ministered to a very large Slavic church at 15th and Sprague, not far from here. Had hundreds and hundreds of congregants, all from Russia or Ukraine. And the services were given in Russian. And he contracted COVID in October and died just about 10 days ago. So I remember this particular church was involved in gifting an ambulance to our sister city Brewery in Ukraine. And the transaction, I happened to be treasurer of Sister Cities at the time, and so I was present when the ambulance was transferred to the church temporarily because they were going to take the ambulance to Ukraine. And our fire department went with them as well as a driver. So it went to its point of entry, and then they drove it to Ukraine. And so temporarily, I was the owner of an ambulance. I have an interesting life. Anyway, but what we celebrated in his little room inside the church, and as a gift to all of us for being there to celebrate this attainment of raising money to buy this ambulance to send to Ukraine. He had piroshkis, they're little Russian appetizers, you might say, or dumplings, and they were in frozen packages, and everybody that was there, Pastor Peter, gave us a package of piroshkis, and Maria and I still have one frozen package at home, and so we'll probably eat that tomorrow in celebration of Pastor Peter's life. So now we're going to hear a lovely song that represents the via negativa, loss, poignancy, perhaps anxiety, but it's I Dreamed a Dream from Les Miserables.
I dreamed a dream in time gone by, when hope was high and life worth living. I dreamed that love would never die. I prayed that God would be forgiving. Then I was young and unafraid, and dreams were made and used and wasted. There was no ransom to be paid, no song unsung, no wine untasted. But the tigers come at night, with their voices soft as thunder, and as they tear your hopes apart, and they turn your dreams to shame. Still I dream he'll come to me, that we will live the years together. But there are dreams that cannot be, and there are storms we cannot weather. I had a dream my life would be so different from this hell I'm living, so different from what it seemed. Now my life has killed the dream. I dream.
And now a poem by Rumi. The real journey is right here. The Great Excursion starts from exactly where you are. You are the world. You have everything you need. You are the secret. You are the wide opened. Don't look for the remedy for your troubles outside yourself. You are the medicine. You are the care for your own sorrow. And that moves us right into our offertory for the evening. And what we say is, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, and so it is.
This place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes to see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when I feel I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love.
So we come from the Via Creativa, which is all about love, to the Via Transformativa. And I had asked Lucas Smeraldo, who's been the poet laureate of Tacoma, to write a poem or share some poetry tonight. And he wasn't able to be here tonight, but he said, I would love it if you would read these two poems back to back. And so Matthew's going to read the first poem, which was written in March, and it's called 100 Days of Solitude. And then this one he just wrote this past week called After the Solitude. So we'll have Matthew read the first poem, and then I'll read the second.
"100 Days of Solitude. Aloneness arrives at the speed of the planets, crossing the coasts and swallowing us into shadows that shift by every minute. And I am not the same life I learned by touch and steering wheel and casual breath, because nothing is immune to the random dew of passage and the holding, this restless and necessary holding that swallows months in its limbs, but cannot embrace a friend or welcomed stranger. They say that one of these barged onto the earth a century past, and I wonder if this terrible pause is the way she wounds us back so she can heal, seizing time and the air around it, and distancing herself from human matters. While the sparrows and the finches and the starlings take the morning from us along the delicate greed of the understory. Here are my reports. In 30 days, fish are returning to the toxic canals of Venice. The haze is lifting from LA. I can cross 19th Street on foot without much wait. Here are my reports. 1/3 of the city cannot pay its rent. Spouses and their children cringe at the violations, stricken skin and broken vessels, with little intermission now, and so few windows. A wife is forbidden from the fingertips of her husband, her lover, of 30 years, as he grasps his final prayers, away from her, so far away. These are the arbitrary laws that pock the silence and mark us, and force love from our throats, like toothpaste from a minted tube, until our need for each other spills all over these awkward and barely standing vessels that were so pristine just a month ago. Who knows how long these 100 days will last? The sidewalks have bigger right-of-ways. People step aside onto the grass strips and wait for us to go. Just go. The woman in blue tier jeans at the walk-up coffee stand is the priest and the laughing sage, and the greatest hope for us all as she sets the cup in the nurse's hand. I am with you in this, alone, apostles of the webcam Zoom listener, at the shrinking tiny desk, with a purple moon smiling across the clearing sky, and the thought that nature steals from us what we will not give it, and we are destined to live as both its casualties and saints. Lucas Morado.
And this poem just written this past week called After the Solitude. The answer is a gift card, unredeemed. I set my credit card ready, and I bought some coffee pleasants for a friend, but I missed her email delivery by one letter. One consonant missing. And so I have bought what cannot be received. And after 3 follow-up emails, I can tell you, customer service is not listening. We must pay our debts and wait. We must believe in the miracle of gifts that have yet to see this earth. We must believe in all our goodness without a single promise of redemption. And know that a blessing is coming and that someone with one less R in their last name may receive 5 free cups of a mocha latte while another is left in a beverage of limbo. That when it comes to the proper servings of justice, we cannot wait. But we also cannot make cause and effect our religion. That if we do not give much of what we have into this new year, of things we will live along a narrow strand. Water is closing and nothing but the tides to count. I am learning that love is at a price, that a passing smile of a daily jogger does not match the fierce commitments of the runner with a mask that is his or her test, that anything short is a face without a song. And the song is the music indigenous mothers hear at the birth of their newborns, whispered into the little one's ear as a name. It's a lovely keen. Superficial acts of civility have no music behind them. It is what we do that moves the universe. As the aerosols know, and these are the maskings that reveal even as the smile is resting. Send your actions into this decade. Ration the words, but wear your love out like a cherished sweatshirt that lives beyond the first unraveling. Be durable past the solstice. Stop waiting and redeem yourself. Customer service will not save us. Redeem yourself. Lucas Moraldo. For our communion with fire. And so Matthew's going to lead us through a writing of a release. And so he will be leading you through that. And as he does that, think about what you'd like to release. You have a little piece of paper, and if something comes up for you, you can just write it down, because that's what will be burning in the burning bowl in our communion with fire. And then I'll be coming up and just asking you to set an intention or two for the new year. So, Matthew?
Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Relax and feel your body becoming free of tension. Let go of all of your thoughts and let your mind just drift. Settle into your chair and become aware of your breathing. Place your hands over your eyes and say silently to yourself, I now free my eyes to see clearly and fully the path to my highest well-being. I free myself to see the highest and the finest in everyone I meet. I now free my eyes to see clearly and fully. I know that everywhere I look, I see the face of God. Now place your hands over your ears and say silently to yourself, I now free my ears to hear life's song, singing through the wind, in the trees, the birds in the air, the waves of the ocean, and through the lips of those I meet on my journey. I release and lose in time the gift of hearing the essence of each person's individual message. And now, place your hands over your lips and say silently to yourself, I now free my lips to speak words of sensitivity, compassion, and truth, to speak clearly, honestly, and powerfully of my true nature, and to honor through my speaking the true nature of all that I meet. Move your hands and place them to your forehead, saying, my mind is now free to think expansive, visionary thoughts, and to dream fully and richly in my highest potential. My thoughts are the tools through which I fashion my tomorrows. Now, cover your heart with both your hands and say, my heart is open and expanding to embrace life with a passion and intensity that heals and empowers me and creates vibrancy and aliveness for myself and all around me. Now place your hands at your sides and say, I know that my body is my home and I love it. I honor it and I listen to it. For it contains wisdom and insight and will work with me towards my greatest well-being. From this day forward, I will nurture and cherish it just the way it is, as I gradually express my highest good. And now, know that your accomplishments and contributions are created through the spirit and intelligence that is greater than all that you are. Through your intentions and your intelligence, your thoughts, your actions, and that your existence matters in the total stream of life. Say silently to yourself, I now free my whole being into the creative process of good. I know that my desires and wants flow from the creative source within me, through me, and I trust and let it go. And so it is.
And so as far as your intention for the new year, I think when you had your hands on your heart, you also were to focus on something for the new year. You don't write that down on these, you write it in your program. So if something occurs to you that you feel like is your mission this coming year, please write that on your program and take it home with you and reflect on that. At this time, we're going to come forward and light our requests. And what you'll do is Mario will help guide you from the back to the front. And Terry, if you could just play some background music while they come up. And we're going to, and those of you who are at home, this is your chance to take the little piece of paper and write down anything you want to release in from 2020. And so you'll come up and put your, be careful, this is tissue paper, so it will go very fast, and drop it in the bowl. Now be careful. This isn't regular paper. All right, there you go. Thank you. So we're going to sing I Release and I Let Go. And
There was a time in my life I thought I'd have to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go, let it all go, and this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
so, just before we have that closing,
What a lovely celebration. Letting go of the old and embracing the new. And as we go our separate ways this evening, know that we are richly blessed, guided and directed by God within. We are never separate from God. And so we give thanks for this time together, for this forthcoming year that will unfold and be far better than the previous year. And we give thanks for that as we bless each other and know that we are blessed. Thank you, God, and so it is.
so I just wanted to say that you can watch our website for upcoming classes. We're going to make a few changes that are up right now. Our webmaster's mother passed away in Wisconsin, so we didn't get them on the website yet. But look on the 4th of January. We should have those changes up. And on the 3rd of January, we have our 9:30 service, which is live streamed. And on the 3rd of January, we'll be doing our white stones ceremony, which we use the white stone. This is more about finding your theme for 2021. So there'll be a meditation and deepening around really your intentions for the year. This is an evening of release, and Sunday is bringing in the new. So Auld Lang Syne, you can kind of hum along underneath your mask. We're not supposed to sing, but don't we miss singing? Yes. Thank you, Christina.
once be forgot and never brought to mind. Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. We too have run about the slopes and picked the daisies fine, but we've wandered many a weary foot since old lang syne. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne.
You stand up and say, Happy New Year! And to all of you at home, Happy New Year. May this be the most blessed year ever. God bless you, and thank you for joining us.